If you're not sure what present to get the man in your life, then here's 6 practical ideas that would not only get him excited, but also improve his overall health. And we are going to be going in order from the cheapest to the most expensive, starting with the massage cane. Now, if your man has back problems and has trouble working it themselves, then you need to pick up this massage cane from Body Back Buddy. And here's why. First off, this is one of the most durable massage canes out there. And I would know because I've broken multiple of them before just by simply using them the way they're supposed to. So if you need one that can take a lot of pressure, this is going to be it. On top of that, the shape here is actually great for getting better leverage, which allows you to get deeper into those muscles like the quadratus lumborum. On top of that, these different knobs here are strategically placed in order to help you work different areas of the body. For example, these top 2 ones up here are perfect for working on the muscles around the cervical spine, while these 2 lower ones are great for the lumbar spine. On top of that, this is great for hooking up on the balls of your feet. You can use these individual points to target specific trigger points, or you can use these angles here in order to hook on muscles and help peel them away from the bony areas. Something I like to do here for the erectors, for example. And the simple fact that when you pick one up, you just simply know how to use it, right? It's like a no-brainer. It's instinctive, which makes it a perfect gift for the man in your life, or anyone basically, who has back pain and can't reach it, but wants to work on it themselves. Now, if you want to check out anything here mentioned, then head over to the description and click on the link labeled products I use. Now, let me be clear. If you are going to be using my links, you are helping support the channel by giving me a small kickback, but it doesn't cost you anything extra. And next up on the list is going to be the Rush foam roller, which is perfect for anyone who loves a deep tissue and already has a foam roller but needs an upgrade basically. Now, what makes this thing so unique? For me, it's going to have to be these different channels, these different areas for your muscles to go through. And the way this works is by applying pressure down to the roller while using it, you are actually squeezing the muscles between these little channels, which will help loosen the tissues even more and increase your blood flow. On top of that, this roller is a great progression for anyone who already has the basic foam rollers and complains about it being too soft, or they need a deep tissue massage all the time and you don't want to be doing all that work. The third thing I love about this thing is the grippiness of the foam on it, because this allows you to do what's called a shearing effect. By placing your muscle on top of it and actually twisting or even stretching it out with a pin and stretch, this is actually going to be able to grab those tissues a lot easier, which allows the muscle to slide underneath it, allowing the tissues to glide easier and allow easier movements. The next up on the list isn't necessarily made for relieving pain, but I still think any man would absolutely love it, especially if they love to be organized and they are a visual person. Plus, I do use it in order to organize my stuff. What I'm talking about here is the actual pegboard, the wall control that is holding all of my equipment. Now, what I love about this thing is the fact that one, that it's durable and that it's metal, which means it's going to last a long ass time. It comes in many different colors, which means you can personalize it to however you like. It's functional because not only can you add accessories to it, but you can also change it up on a whim without having to add a bunch of holes to the wall. Ask me how I know. Right now, I'm using mine for my fitness equipment and my recovery equipment, but you can use yours for things like tools, for your DIY projects, or things like that. And if you're still not convinced, let me share something real quick. I do believe that I am similar to most men, right, out there. And for the most part, we are visual and physical creatures. It's how we communicate most dominantly, it's how we learn, and it's the kind of things that we would appreciate more, at least in my opinion. So with that said, the simple fact that this wall control, this simple pegboard, makes everything look good, it's strong and feels good, makes it one of the best gifts I could probably think of in order to get your man if you're not sure what the hell to get them, because they will figure it out with all the accessories and all the ways they can customize it. Now, if your man has chronic pain all the time or just has trouble sleeping, then you need to get them this blue dot pillow. The reason why I'm telling you this is because this is one of the most versatile pillows I have ever used. First off, let's go over the odd shape here and what they're used for. The first portion here, you have the neck support on two different ends, with one of them being slightly higher than the other. This actually gives you the ability to choose which one you want in order to help support the neck. On top of that, we have this blue dot right in the middle, which is where it got its name. And this creates a nice little cushion effect, basically a nice pull for the head in order for it to remain neutral. Because if you didn't know, a lot of the times when you wake up with chronic neck pain or shoulder pain even, it might be because your neck was kinked the entire time throughout the night. Well, this helps keep your head in a neutral position, while these two areas help support the neck at the same time. On top of that, you also have these weird ledges, right? And I never really understood what these were until I used it. And what this does, it actually helps kind of push these shoulders away from the neck. Because again, if you end up having neck pain, shoulder pain throughout the night, you might have your shoulders creeping up on top of your neck, which contracts those muscles and can create compression, creating things like thoracic outlet syndrome, shoulder pain, nervy pain, finger pain when you wake up, things like that. So what these things do is they help kind of keep those shoulders away naturally, which allows the neck to remain elongated. And then three, we have these outside edges here, which is perfect for your arms when you're sleeping on your side. And actually, speaking about sleeping on your side, the simple fact that the outside edges are firmer than the center, or at least it feels like that because it's getting pulled down, this actually allows me to sleep on my side without having a kink in my neck. Because otherwise, if you use a regular pillow and you try to sleep on your side, you either have to fold up the pillow like I do in order to remain neutral, or you have to grab multiple pillows, or you just end up with a kink like this whenever you're sleeping on it. So just having that extra foam on the edges allows you to shift naturally while also having somewhere to place your arms. And here's the thing, that's not my favorite part about this. My favorite part about this pillow is that it's pretty much customizable. Let me show you real quick. In the back here, we have a centerpiece that we can actually pull off. All we have to do is unbuckle this, very easy. And then we just take this foam piece off. Ta-da! Magic. We zip it back up, or we buckle this first, whichever one you want to do. And now, if the pillow was too high for you, if it was too big for you, then now it is adjusted pretty much. And this is actually how I prefer to have it, because this allows my head to kind of sink back a little further, because I did find that my head was a little up. It kind of felt like I was getting pushed up. But by simply just pushing or pulling that piece out, my head's able to sink down a little further, and that allows me to remain in a neutral position. On top of that, though, that's not all. If you find that it's just too small for you personally, they actually sell an extra insert where you can place on the very bottom of the foam to make it higher and feel firmer. So again, it's very customizable. It's very customizable. It's very customizable. There, just fuck it. So when you include the different neck portions, when you include the different shoulder structures, the fact that you can insert and remove foam pieces into this pillow makes it one of the most customizable pillows I've ever used, and that I absolutely love. I've been using it for the last month now, and I have to say, I'm not changing it out. Now, next up is an item that I'm not sure I would have done without, and has actually changed my life in a different way than you might expect. And what I'm talking about here is the Gorilla mat that I'm actually standing on right now. Now, what makes this mat so special? Well, let's quickly go over the features so we can get to the better shit. First off, it has a lifetime warranty, even if you buy it from Amazon. The bottom has extremely good grip, which means it's not going to be slipping around when you're trying to use it. It's thick, so you can lay on it comfortably, but not so thick so you feel unstable when you're lifting on it. And it comes in a lot more sizes than just my 6x9 size. But why was this such a game changer for me personally? Well, it's because it kind of became a play center for the center of the house, which is something I really enjoy. And even though this isn't about fitness per se, it is still healthy for you because studies have shown just by being around kids or even dogs playing around will help increase your happy hormones, basically. And having this soft, giant mat right here available for my dog, that is actually a perfect situation for them to play on. And because it's right here in the middle of my office, yes, I get a little distracted, which is my fault, but it helps me relax. It boosts my mood. It does all these little things that I wouldn't expect a giant yoga mat to do. It's a little anticlimactic, I know, but if you wouldn't benefit from it, then I wouldn't have added it. The next on the list is probably the best tool I've ever used for not only giving a massage, but also getting a massage. And that is the D6 massage gun from Bob and Brad. Now, I have used a lot of massage guns within my career, and I have to say that the D6 from Bob and Brad really stands out for a few main reasons. With one of the reasons being its power and the depth of punch. You see, when I used to use these older massage guns here on my clients or myself, I wouldn't be able to really get very deep within the muscle because then it would actually stall out. In fact, let me show you what I'm talking about. I want to put it at full blast. Hopefully you can hear me. And stalled, right? And that's with one arm with a little bit of pressure, really. But if I pulled out the D6 from Bob and Brad, put this on full blast, and pulled it in, there we go. Got it. Now, I don't want to try to do that as many times as I can, but it took two hands for me to get this thing to stall, and it still is kind of hard. And that's my point right there is the ability to get deep within the muscles with a massage gun and not being able to use your fingers and all that is not only going to save them a lot of time, it's going to save them a lot of heartache and make them want to use it even more. Now, on top of that, I also love the OLED screen here, especially the depth meter. Because again, when I'm trying to work on deeper muscles, I'm not really 100% sure how deep I'm pressing and if I'm being consistent throughout the muscle. So for example, if I wanted to work on my pec minor here and I wanted to press this into myself, then I would need to be able to be consistent with it, and having a depth meter here actually gives me that ability. So if I just adjust this angle real quick, turn it back on. So here, all I'm going to do is actually use this now. Now I can see the screen now that I adjusted the angle, and I'm just going to simply pull this into the chest and watch the depth meter and remain at around a 1 to 2 depth in order to keep remaining on that pec minor, if that makes sense. Without that depth meter, I don't know if I'm being consistent. I don't know if I'm staying at the same depth that I intended to, which doesn't allow me to be as effective. Now, there are a few other things that I love about this massage gun too. Simple fact that it has different angles that you can adjust. The simple fact you can hold it from all these different angles, which then when you combine it with the adjustable, allows you to pretty much use it on anywhere in the body. And it even has multiple settings, which allows it to ramp up or down depending on the setting you choose. And when you add all these different features together, you pretty much get a little machine that can take my job.